Welcome to this fine Tuesday evening here in Gardena, California. We are live here on a Tuesday night with, of course, myself, Ed Rodriguez, my beloved, my soulmate,
Thought you were gonna go glow.
Chris
It was
Tucker.
a fork in the road. How's it going, sir? How you doing?
Oh man, it's been a week. It's been a week.
Yeah, it's a complicated time in life
Yeah.
in general. Made only better by the LA Galaxy.
Well, you know, this is always I feel like this should be like well, I don't think it should be, but I feel like it's become an annual tradition of just lamenting
Decision day. Let's do
lamenting
it.
a season that has been cut short.
I could use the free time. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It could have come at a worse time.
one less thing off the plate.
Ed, I'm not. Hey, go. What is it? I'm more Eterno. I'm all for it, man. But yeah, I got a complicated full plate at the moment.
But hey, just because the season's over doesn't mean that the Galaxy can't get your money,
Yeah. Oh, there's always opportunities.
which I'm contemplating.
We'll talk about
Get
it,
in
I'm sure.
those shoes.
We'll talk about it, I'm sure. Fredo in the live chat is like, Ed sounds good, Chris sounds sad. Not everything has to do with the Galaxy. Like sometimes look, there's a lot. There's a lot in a lot of lives, and mine's packed with other shit.
Not named LA Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a whole separate disappointment. There's room for disappointments
Right.
in the life of Chris Tucker. I think that's been classically accepted.
Speaking of disappointments, we are here with Producer Ben. Producer Ben, how are you doing, sir?
Disappointing, actually.
Yeah.
Very disappointed today, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to still, after these last 6 years of being disappointed
Mhm.
over and over again. It still stings. It still hurts.
Yeah, well, I mean,
At what point does it start to fall on us? You know,
I
like
mean,
Battered wife syndrome.
yeah,
kind of thing?
exactly.
Battered spouse syndrome, should I say?
yeah, canceled. You're
Yeah.
done. It's too late. Don't apologize. Nobody gets to apologize anymore.
They call me Eddie Scott.
Yeah, you're what? Eddie Scott.
Travis Scott. But
Oh my god.
well, that's the newest person who's canceled this week, so.
Yeah, that's because it does none of it. It's not real. It's
Oh.
not real. None of it's real. Like obviously, what happened with him is terrible, and that whole tragedy and all that. But give it a month. Nobody will care.
I mean, something else will come up.
We're
And
all gonna forget. It's okay.
It's the 24-hour news cycle, man.
Yeah. Well, you just
This
you
is
get-
such a
shit.
great start.
You have
to-
you have stuff in your life like if you're not related to one of the people who got hurt during his concert, if you still really care about it in a month, like you gotta find some friends or some activities in your life to fill that time so that you don't care about things that don't involve you. I think in general.
Or
I'm really tired, guys. I'm gonna perk this up. I promise. Somebody's gonna say something to make me laugh.
we gotta get Tucker a perk.
No, man, that's what starts all this shit,
That's
man.
obvious.
They're talking about. I heard.
Molly Percocet.
Hey, Future. It's all about Future. This one happened at a Future show. But they said someone was like poking people with a syringe that had some sort of drug in it.
Yeah, like some security dude almost died because someone jabbed him in the neck with something.
You know where this doesn't happen? At home, where it's safe, where it's got your PlayStation and it's got your bed and it's got your blankets, and the Galaxy can't hurt you.
And now you could just
stay
order
home.
your groceries to your house.
Boom.
Get your food delivered to your house.
Boom.
The important thing's food.
Get some edibles.
Yeah.
Sent to the house.
Yeah.
It's easy, and then just don't leave and stay where it's
Get
safe.
your marijuana.
Yeah. What?
Did you see that that Chong was at the game, by the way?
Yeah, he didn't look. I don't think he looked pleased to be there, but he
His PR person was like, if he has a person who handles him, he's like, hey, just come to the
you
city.
got to talk to this guy for like 30 seconds. Shoot his little video.
They bought you a jersey, man. Just
He looked sober. He looked like he
Does
looks
he?
great. Yeah. Well, he looked for
I
him.
just feel like he turned it's just
permastoned.
yes.
It's called permastoned.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm working on it. I'm actively trying to get there. My father is well entrenched in it. It's It's admirable, really, to see a man be so functioning and consume as much marijuana as he does.
I think you're on your way, man. I've been around you when you've been functioning.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm always functioning, but not to the level of not close to the level of my father. It's not. Again, it's just it's like Luke Skywalker in the Force, man. It's just something to aspire to.
Right.
It's the goal. One day, I'm gonna get Erica's got a plan that should get me to that point, like 10 years, where I can just chill, relax, smoke weed.
That's goals, man.
Yeah. I'm really tired, man. I'm sorry.
All right, well, let's get to the game. I know we let's just get into it. We talked about it a little bit, but
your week okay? I'm sorry.
That's fine. We'll get into the game. Let's go.
Benny, you're doing good.
We rolling, baby.
I'm down. I just want
rolling.
I want to touch base with my boys a little bit.
We're good. It's always a little disappointing.
I'm gonna finish this drink and then I'll be ready.
I would say a disappointing draw to end the season. I think someone put a stat that we haven't won our last game of the season since like 2012 or something like that. So it's been a while since we won a game at home, or even won our last game of the season, of the regular season.
Day,
Yeah. 3-3 tie with Minnesota. I mean, if I'm being honest, probably one of the most exciting games of the season.
Oh yeah, really.
Just the atmosphere was like literally electric. Like you could feel the tension in the air, and you could feel like the fans were like really into it.
Oh yeah, I took the boy, took the wife and the boy. He had a great time. He was as into it as I think anyone could, realistically expect for a 3-year-old. But the crowd was right behind the team, about as much as you could, really ask for.
Yeah, the whole Squadcast family was out. Ben and his family were out there. Me and my wife, you and your family.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. And thank you for everyone who came up to us and said hi and said they like the show. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get into it, man. I mean, 3-3 draw.
Fuck! What? Sorry. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to control myself here.
And what's sad, this is the thing, is what's worse is that other decisions, pretty much every single decision went our way, except for one in the last 15 seconds of a game.
Yeah.
Which I can't put it on them because it's it's on us.
Even that went our way as long
as if you're especially if you're the body of the association that puts out these statements after the game saying, yeah, we messed up.
Oh, for the penalty?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not concerned about that at all. It's a clear handball. I only got to watch it, maybe 30 minutes ago when Ben got in here. I got to check it out. It's the Justin Glad SKC handball. Obvious. It's a clear handball. He moves his hand. It hits the ball, redirects it out of the way of the attacker. Like it's a handball every day of the week. The fact that fans watching at home, again, and this is a problem with VAR in general, and it's really a problem with Pro. It comes up with Pro a lot. Fans at home, now I'm energized. Fans at home have a perspective and a clear perspective and view of events that the referee on the field in the year 2021, with all the technology we have in 2021, the referee on the field should have the ability to have at least as much information as the fan at home. The idea that you have VAR, you have video assistant referee, and that guy watches that clip and immediately can't tell at least that there's enough that the ref should go look at it himself is crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the point is. And this is the thing. I don't know who it is, but you can look up who the VAR referee is. He will have a job next year. He will ref a game next year. It doesn't matter that he made a mistake. It doesn't matter that his mistake, air quotes, cost a team from a playoff spot, because that's not my perspective. Isn't that call cost us a playoff spot? That's stupid. I can understand you saying, hey, had that not happened, they would have made the playoffs. But had a lot of things over the course of the last 10 months not happened, we would have made the playoffs.
Yeah,
or had a lot of things.
And we can't even
made.
rely on that if they did have that penalty, and like we had a penalty against us and they didn't make it.
Would go in.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, it's a sports tale as old as time. We have reiterated it here for as many years as since we started. If you leave it to the decisions of a referee, you can't get mad at the outcome.
Yeah.
If it's up to you to have an opportunity to put it away, and you have an it wasn't a draw against Minnesota. We had an opportunity weeks ago. We had an opportunity months ago. Like, this is something that should have been wrapped up a very, very long time ago. Didn't come down to Justin Glad handball that wasn't called, a VAR call that didn't get called. It wasn't down to Cabral. What specifically are we talking about? Just missing the playoffs or the game?
The game. We'll talk the game. Yeah, talk in general. Yeah.
Missing the play.
Let's just
go. It's not down to.
Let's just release it.
Yeah, we're all over.
That sweet release.
Please, Ed,
the mutual release.
Oh,
let's do it.
It's the best option, really.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a little better for one than the other, I imagine.
Then you can just be like, I'm done.
Okay. We didn't miss out. We didn't miss out because Cabral.
I hope my mom's not listening to this show.
I hope so.
Yeah. She'll text me right now, anyways.
Sick fuckhead. We didn't miss out because Cabral didn't get the pass against Seattle. You know, we didn't miss out because of these like one-off moments. Yeah, because there's so many one-off moments that you've forgotten about that contributed to the position we found ourselves in, or that we find ourselves in today. It's not just the thing you most recently remember. RSL scored a 95th minute of 96. RSL scored a 95th minute goal against us. Siga Koulibaly and I think I wrote it down. What is it? 9:29 versus RSL, 95th minute, Anderson Julio. Ball comes in from the right side, dinks it up over his body to the left side. Koulibaly's trying to press on him. He smacks it with his left foot, goes in. 95th and 96 minutes. Literally the difference between our playoff spot. Literally the difference. It gives them the win differential. We got blown out. What was it, by Dallas? We lost to Austin. This shit's been coming for weeks.
Yeah, wasn't it? We've only won 2 games since the beginning of August. Like,
we're not a good team. We're not a good team. We weren't outstanding to begin with. We got hot really, really early on the back of a historic run from a historic goal scoring run from Chicharito.
From a very, very determined player.
And then the moment, the other thing we've been yelling for years, not even just in relation to Chicharito, but we've been yelling for years, man. The moment he got hurt, whole team cooled off. No one to step in for him. No direct. We lack plan Bs, man. We pray. Plan A works. And if plan A works, phenomenal. Plan A works. We're running the table, baby.
Plan A's for the last 3 years is like, hey, we have this one guy.
This one guy.
And we need you guys to really make sure he gets the ball and so he can score.
The guy was 37. It's a 37-year-old forward. Coming off of some being pretty substantially injured for the first time in his career. And now, Javier Hernandez, who hadn't, with all fairness to him, hadn't really been doing it in Europe the last little bit of time before coming in. But there's just not anything coming in to support him. As soon as he goes down, the whole team slowed down. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But it's not a Cabral pass a week ago. It's not, Julian getting beat on a ball 4 or 5 days ago. It's not these one little things. There's a mountain of these small pebbles that add up over the course of a season. And, that's the way it goes.
I mean, but we're talking about a team that brought in how many new players to the team? 12, 11, 12, something like that?
Yeah, I think there's 8 starters. 8 starters came in, and I want to say it was 11 players that got brought in. I think it was 11 players.
So it's like, I mean, I get it.
I mean, it's 8 starters.
Yeah.
Forget how many players got brought in. 8 people were assigned to be starters on the team. That's your team.
And we can't say, oh, they didn't have a preseason together. They didn't have like, blah, blah. No. Like, this was a team that was from the beginning.
Hey man, I mean, look, there's
signings you bring in, and we're still like, oh, give Cabral a year, give these guys a year, which I do. I'm in that camp because again, with European players come over, it does take some of them time to adjust.
Yeah. Forgot to tweet out that we're live.
But you're paying a lot of money for hopeful. Like, I'm hopeful this guy learns to play better or can develop better.
Well, why don't you sell your fans on we're signing these guys so that they're good in 3 years? Because that's not the message that you send. It's never the message that you send. The message that you send is that we're trying to compete this year and we're trying to put something on the field this year and we need you guys out here this year. I mean, fuck, man. Why that's a whole other subject. Why aren't you advertising to have your fans come to the game and fill up the stadium and get behind your team Why does it take the last game of the season? It's the last game of the season before they have Instagram posts with Chicharito and Twitter posts with Chicharito saying, hey guys, come out here. Like I don't, admittedly, I don't get a chance to listen to many of the Galaxy podcasts. I apologize. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not saying any of you aren't good. I just don't have any fucking time right now. I got to listen to Corner of the Galaxy. Was it last week? And I heard, or this a couple days ago. What's her name? Sophie?
Yeah.
I thought she was spot on. You signed, let's be fair. You signed Javier Hernandez this is her quote, not mine. So attribute it to the person who said it, not me. I'm just copying and pasting it because it's correct. Regardless of how you fucking feel about it, it's correct. You signed Javier Hernandez to energize a specific fan base, not your fan base in general. You signed Javier Hernandez to energize your Hispanic fan base first and your Galaxy fan base second. Why are you waiting until the last game of the season to put him forward specifically to say, we need you guys to come to the game. We need you guys to support us at all these matches. It's imperative that you come out here for all these things. As an entity, man, all of it, as an organizational entity from top to bottom, it's so fucking broken. It's so broken and lost and seemingly completely fucking directionless.
Yeah, I think the catalyst of that and like you can pinpoint that is when they gave Chris Klein a 5-year extension.
We finished dead last
after the worst season in team history.
We have,
and you extend that man for 5 more years.
We have missed the playoffs more under Chris Klein than we have in all the years of the existence of the team preceding him. All of them. I think next year is the last year in his deal. I bet we'll be trying our ass off that year. But that's why we're releasing shoes. So on Sunday, everyone can be fucking furious about the direction of the club and no more and hashtag Klein out and hashtag DTK out. And a goddamn Tuesday. Throw the card down.
Here's shiny. Here's something shiny.
Look.
Which again, I'm like, oh, shiny.
You don't have to you don't have to like Klein's ability to build a soccer team. You don't. As a business executive that figures out a way to hang on, he's got it. He got it down.
Oh, he's got pictures on somebody. He
doesn't need to. Why does he need to? 48 hours ago, everyone wanted his head. 48 hours later, there you go. I got it. There's only 100. I got to get in. I got to, And look, if you like the shoes, awesome. I don't care. I like the community kit ones. They look great. They look very nice. You have few opportunities in which they actually listen to you, and how you spend money is one of them. It's 4 months until you can put a TIFO up again saying that, you're upset about something or you want somebody to go away or whatever it is. However you go about voicing your concerns. Because I assure you, man, outside of like 4 people who might be listening to this, I have more Twitter followers than you. And believe me when I say that shit doesn't matter. Nobody gives a fuck. No one cares about my Twitter. No one who works at the Galaxy gives a fuck about the fact that I complain on Twitter. They definitely they don't care if you've got like 69 followers and you're complaining about the Galaxy. They don't give a shit. Clearly they don't care about those subsections, about what people in the Facebook group are complaining about, or what people on Twitter are complaining about, or if you've got a Discord and you're complaining about the Galaxy. That doesn't move the needle for them. The one place that you can actually affect how they hear you is how you spend money. And this is what we do. When something comes out that's nice, we're right back in. And they got you, man. They got all of us. And don't get me wrong, I'm not better than you. I'm hooked on the drug too. Like I'm a smackhead just like you, man.
I have 3 community kits.
I have 43 Galaxy jerseys. I'm a cheap junkie right with you. But this is how you vote, man.
And next year, probably get a couple more.
The new home is nice, but this is how you vote. You vote with your dollars, and the bottom line is we're ready. We're always ready. We're ready, and they're not going to learn until you're not ready. I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen any instance of them learning to date, but we're always ready.
But they're always talking about how they care about the fans, and
they're going to learn from this.
They always say they care about the fans. I canceled my season tickets 2 years ago. When I canceled my season, since then, I have gotten 0 calls like, hey, you want to come back or this or that.
To be fair, though, they've really cut down on their people that work there.
Yeah.
So,
But which is
but even,
But still,
even before, like you had complaints of people.
So do they
not
even
getting callbacks from reps and stuff like that?
do they even care about your money?
yeah.
Your individual, like, you know, I mean, they get
like
from
you
every-
specifically?
Yeah.
I don't. It looks like it looks like they've got a shotgun mentality. They're just going to
Yeah.
blast wide, and if they get one of you, they get one of you. It's fine. But the average seems like they keep coming
It's
back.
like a creepy dude in the club, man. It's a number game.
It's all numbers. Yeah, you're
Number
fishing.
game.
You're fishing.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing with losing all these reps, with losing people you're comfortable with. I don't want to speak for them, but I'm sure if you turn your mic on, people can hear you. I could. But it's like,
I heard it was.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking that, Ed knows about the creepy guy in the club, and it's a numbers game.
Hey, when those lights turn on, baby, this guy is there to wrangle him in.
oh,
Yeah,
One more time, Ed.
yeah.
thank you. He wants to make sure he had a nice clean one for a
Yeah.
drop that he's not.
That he's not going to cut. Yeah.
But yeah, you probably could. I don't know. You could probably do a better job of calling angry season ticket holders if it's a rep that they're comfortable with, that they know.
But they change every.
But they're gone all the time.
and they change every 6 months to a year.
So I mean, even if you got a call, Ben, like what rep do you have a relationship with? That would even earn that person a phone call back.
Adam Cheveria.
I don't know who he is. Is he still there?
I don't know, but he was probably the best rep. I mean, in the, I don't know, little over a decade that we had season tickets, yeah, we probably went through as many reps.
I think
So,
when there's good ones, they find better jobs.
Yeah, there was like, and in that time, I think we had like 2 good ones, 2 or 3 that were good. Other than that,
I think we've been spoiled a little bit because with the supporters groups, it's a little different because you really do, you get to know them because they're more. I wouldn't say they're more active, but you.
You just have more of an opportunity to
Yeah.
build a relationship with them, and I get that they play it safe, but when
Well, again, they have like a specific like spot where like literally all their ticket holders are. Where, someone who has like someone in different sections all around the stadium, I'm sure it might get a little difficult to track them down and come say hi every game or whatever.
yeah, I think they were trying to get more, to go more, at least when I was probably my last year, maybe 2 years, they had said that, this is now my section, I handled just this section, 114 or 113 or whatever it was.
Whatever. I mean, however they want to do it is fine with me. I don't,
But still, it's not I'm sure it's not the best paying job in the world, I mean, like, there's a reason why every rep was a young guy who was probably just out of college, was probably like one of their first jobs.
Well, I think it's something that they build experience. I mean, you've seen it. There's people, and we've had people like we're not into the sport at all, and like this was the job for them.
yeah,
So-
there's a lot of people where, I mean, over the years, there's been a lot of people where
Yeah.
it's just a job. And I don't mind that either. But at least when you have a relationship with that person who still views it as just a job, you feel like you can have a conversation with them. You feel like you can, for me anyway.
Well, you can have a conversation with anybody.
But you know what I mean?
I know.
Tolerating a conversation with me
Yeah.
is understandably a little different, I think, than tolerating a conversation with some other people. And there's not, the 2 ticket reps that I knew and liked very much left this year. And I told them, like, I probably won't learn your replacement's name. Like, it's just that time of my life is ending. So me having that level of connectivity with someone who works for the Galaxy is there's a short list of the people who are left on that list, and when they go, that'll probably be it.
Yeah, I would think it's more the time. Like, Ben, you're not getting called back because I remember back in the day when, if you cancel a ticket or you showed any interest in tickets, like they would call you. Like
It was the Galaxy and the Church of Scientology, like 2 in 1. As far as getting a hint of interest from you, and then sticking to you like Starro from DC. It was, you couldn't get rid of him. And now
you would even get calls and be like, "Hey, are you interested in tickets?" Like, I'm already a season ticket holder.
Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder, man. I'll be there on Saturday. But now,
They're
like,
like, okay, cool.
you said it. We had someone in the live chat say, "Yeah, I canceled season tickets. Didn't get so much as an email. Didn't get a phone call back." from top to bottom, man, it seems, as far from my perspective, and I'm not in, supporters group leadership or anything like that. I don't have any insight from how the supporters groups deal with the front office and how, their interactions and stuff like that. This is just a Galaxy fan who likes supporters groups a whole lot and likes the Galaxy a whole lot, and just watching from the outside in. And in a year that I didn't get to pay a lot of attention versus how much I would have paid attention in the past, from the perspective that I could see, I don't know. I barely recognize a lot of the organization nowadays. And you see it in,
for someone who's also like very inside, like knowing everyone and, having like,
but all the people that I know keep leaving. Like I always hope to meet new people and all that. It's always nice. But the majority of the people that I knew,
and
not that I knew, but a lot,
and long-term people too. Like
that's the way to say it. A lot of long-term people,
yeah,
have been leaving. A lot of long-term people have been leaving, and they may replace them with outstanding workers that I haven't met yet, and make new Galaxy fans out of them, or maybe get other Galaxy fans, or promote from within, whatever they end up doing. But I definitely know they've lost a lot of really good workers recently, and I've never seen an organization that does better from losing really good workers as consistently as the Galaxy has been losing really good workers.
All right, real quick, let's get back to like the next 5 minutes. Let's talk about the game a little bit better. You had Chicha, who looked like he was working his ass off. Unfortunately, you have Julian, who hadn't had his best game when we probably needed him to be at his best. You had some odd calls from Vanny from that starting lineup, again playing Fisher and then taking him out, 30 minutes into the game, 35 minutes into the game, to bring in Hamilton.
I don't think you have to worry about learning how to pronounce his name too much.
No.
Who
would have thought a rejected LAFC left back would not be good?
Ed coming in with fire.
I don't know.
Well, it's a strange call for the first player to cross that divide is a lone left back who turns out to not be very good, who you don't ever really want to see him to play.
Yeah. That you prefer a right back starting at left back over you.
LA Galaxy. Well, he's fast. Like, he's faster than Nico. And if your concern, it's the same thing in the Seattle game. If your concern is going to be speed coming off of that left side, Viafani is going to get eaten alive. That's what every single Timbers fan that I know from my time up there, every single one of them told me, like, if it's speed, Viafani is going to get eaten alive. You're not going to be able to play him.
Yeah.
And then he had his injury concerns. He bring in Nico. Nico not very good. It's I liked Fisher overall, but it's just not that left side. It's not for him. You might be better off playing Julian over there and playing Fisher on the right. Just because every time Fisher was on the right, he wasn't awful. He wasn't great, and he wasn't Julian by a stretch. But I would have to assume Julian can do a better job than that.
You know what? I probably wouldn't put past him that he would do a better job.
It's got to be rough with the extra defense, with the defense that you're giving up with Cabral on that left side. That it must have just been a nightmare situation for Greg. You can't play Jorge because he's too slow. You can't play Nico because he's not very good. And it's not like when Leggett plays out on the far left side that you can say, hey, we're going to get a little extra defense on the left because Leggett's going to drop back and help out. With Cabral, you have a guy who isn't going to play defense almost at all. And then you have, a right back playing left back, or, he's a lone player, so a trash left back or a broken left back. Like, outside of playing Cuevas, like, fuck do you do?
Yeah, I mean, of all your midfielders, you're not going to have Vasquez isn't going to come back to track for you.
It's a lot of running.
Cabral is not very good defensively. He's not going to really track back for you.
Play Efrain over there. It's his weaker side, and for a kid who doesn't play a ton of defense. Like, looking at the roster, you're stuck. I'm not a huge advocate for playing Fisher, but you've positioned yourself in a way that you get stuck. It's why Cabral has to play so far forward all the time. He doesn't play defense. Not a good year, man. For a rebuild.
Yeah.
For a rebuild where you brought in two players in that position. Air quotes you brought in, because Viafani was practically announced before you got signed. But air quotes you brought in, your administration brought in two players to play left back, and you got to play right back.
And that's the thing too, is that it's so up in the air with who's going to be back next year, even on the administrative side of it.
Sure.
So this team, I feel again, it's going to be flipping rosters again.
Which we should talk about almost immediately after our show last week. It was announced that the Galaxy picked up DTK's 1-year option.
Right. After all these rumors.
That doesn't mean he won't go to Feyenoord. It doesn't mean he won't end up anywhere else.
It just means we'll get paid for it.
We'll have to be compensated for it. Which if he was on a 3+1, if he's wanted somewhere, why wouldn't you want to be compensated?
Yeah.
If they want him badly enough, why wouldn't you want to be compensated?
Well, it is the Galaxy, so we're used to letting things go for free. So that wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah. Well, we also pay a lot to send people away when we need to.
That is true. That is true. All right, final thoughts on the game. Benjamin, did you have any thoughts on the game before we head out? Or not head out. Move on to the next topic.
No, I mean, like we talked about earlier, the game in and of itself for a game was an exciting game. It was a fun game to be at. The last game of the season is always a good atmosphere. No win or lose, it's generally a good atmosphere during the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was great to see you guys at the game. It was great to bring the family to the game, and that was probably my ups were seeing you guys and bringing my family to the game.
I think my favorite part of the game, even if we lost, obviously the results didn't go our way, but our friend of the show, Nestor, had bought one of those like buckets of cookies.
I got a story.
And so he was like passing them out, giving some to Tucker, giving some to me. And then Tucker's son spots it. And someone was like, you're like, oh, give some to Damien. And he's like, I don't know him.
He's a good boy. I raised him right. You don't talk to strangers.
No, Nestor was the one who said it.
Yeah,
Nestor said to your sons, like, I don't know him.
Someone goes to Nestor, aren't you gonna give Damien one? Nestor's like, I don't know him.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that might have been the favorite part of the night.
Yeah, it was awesome. So good.
Damien, the next day, I was like, hey, Papa, you have fun at the soccer game? And he's like, oh, yeah, I love Cookie Man. I was like, Nestor, Daddy's friend? He's like, yeah, Cookie Man.
Do you have to do that?
Nestor know what's up. But so Nestor, you're Cookie Man forever, bro. Damien, my boy's a big fan.
Oh, yeah. He had so much junk.
Fucking ball. My wife got some amazing pictures. If you haven't seen them, I posted them on my Instagram and actually didn't post them on Instagram. I posted them, or what's it called? A story? The 24-hour thing? I posted on the story. But it's on my Twitter. My son came. Yeah, he's just turned 3 in September. He's just at the age where he kind of gets what's going on. He definitely knows soccer enough to understand, like, our team's trying to score on this side, the other team's trying to score that side. This team are the good guys, that team's the bad guys. And this is the part that I would say I've given a good deal of my life to the Galaxy. I think we can agree. Given a healthy portion of my life to the Galaxy.
I don't know about healthy, but
and unhealthy portion of my life to I was unhealthy back then. I'm fitness now, but I gave a significant chunk of my life to the Galaxy, and it was an investment in people treating my son like he is a prince when he comes to those games. He loves it because people are just like, Damien, you want fucking cookies? He got soda. Like, he got to have a can of soda. So I have a picture.
Oh, the boy had nachos. He had popcorn. He had cookies.
Yeah, pretzels. We bought him pretzels. We bought him. I bought food inside the stadium for the first time in I can't tell you how long, but the kid loves it, man, and whatever bribes him into wanting to come back and liking soccer,
and
man.
Liking, exactly.
Yeah, my other highlight, Ed, you showed up a little bit late, but to watch Damien before the game, kicking the ball with Scott, that was pretty awesome too.
Oh yeah, he's playing a little soccer with Vegan Scott.
Yeah,
nice.
Pre-games. Yeah, it's amazing, dude. You'll get there. Don't you worry. Give it time.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our grading of the players. We're gonna go down the roster. We'll do this real quick. Give them a grade, give a little sentence, and then move on.
I got a quick stat for each of the players, if you like. So if you toss out a name, I'll run you down their season.
I'm just going down the list of on the Galaxy website. So
works for me.
First up, we're going to go with the Danilo Acosta.
2 appearances, finally got to play 61 minutes. D? You signed him to play left back, and you're playing O'Neal fucking Fisher at left back when Acosta's healthy.
And he's played like a couple of games down in G2. So it's not like he's not.
He plays more for G2.
He played more for G2.
He played
100%.
more for G2 than he played for the first team when he was healthy and we needed a left back on decision day.
Yeah.
For the last 2 games that would have decided our future, what grade would you give that person who was a left back when you did not play a left back?
Can I give him like an NA? You can not applicable? Like, I mean,
He's applicable.
okay.
He's applicable as fuck.
As long as he gets
This is
minutes.
his second year. He's
Okay.
applicable as shit.
Yeah. I mean, he got hurt
Was
the whole.
he 24, 25?
He was hurt the whole year that last year.
That was 12 months ago. That was a long fucking time. That wasn't 12 months ago because he got hurt at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was about 19 months ago.
19 months ago.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, you got to give him for what he was. He's supposed to come in as a.
This is why I had to write this down because you're gonna let a lot of these fucking people slide on this shit, man.
All right, you got to give him an F. If it's that, then you're bringing in.
If it's just on Acosta,
You're all your left backs are out. You're supposed to be the third option, and they're gonna play right back over you. Then it's got to be an F.
I just want to throw out there, we were gonna go through these real quick.
Okay.
this is quick. That was quick. That was.
Are you
quick.
joining on this or no?
I'll just say an F.
Okay. The next one you have on there is Daniel Aguirre.
Oh, I'll give that kid an A. For what you asked for him, you give. I mean, a trialist. Trialist earned his way into a G2 deal. Earned his way. I mean, air quotes earned, but he obviously had to earn it for them to have selected him as an emergency call up and getting to play on the first team. Like for what you're asking of a fucking trialist,
Yeah,
that is a star-studded A, sir. Good job.
I'll agree with that. That's fine. Benjamin. I mean, I really don't have anything to say for him, but
Yeah, me neither. I mean,
I was impressed with a couple times he came in. Hopefully, he can develop more.
I
But
forgot he existed until you said his name.
exactly.
Yes.
Not
See,
gonna lie. But he plays for.
I had to click because they have it as D Aguirre,
Aguirre.
and I'm like, what was his first name?
He is an ever present for the second team. But yeah, for what you're asking of him, on trial,
Right.
a star-studded A.
All right. Next up, Julio Rajo.
Played 32, appeared 32, started every game he played. Just under 2,800 minutes, 7 assists.
Our most minutes.
Second assists in the team from your
right.
air quotes academy product right back. 8 yellow cards, averaged the most interceptions per 90 for all players over 500 minutes. Averaged 3 tackles per 90, which led the entire team for players over 300 minutes.
And he was the player with the most minutes on the field. I believe.
Overall, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
What
I looked it up. I just don't remember.
Give him his grade.
Julian, come on, he's the best fucking player on the team. Like he's clearly the highest quality player. Chicharito is the highest quality player.
It's gonna be sad that's gonna be the last game we see him play in a Galaxy jersey.
He deserves better than us.
Yeah.
It's straight up fact. I'm glad we were able to put him in a position to be in the window and succeed and get a shot to I assume it's Europe.
Yeah,
to go to
actually
Europe.
see a defender on the LA Galaxy be a success. I think that you got to give an A just on that alone.
I tell you, man, I tell these kids in the system, in the academy, and coming through in a G2, if you're a defender, you got the best shot to make it. You get the best shot to
At
make
least
it.
to play.
The reason Efrain Alvarez is a one-off because the attacking players usually don't get to come through. But if you're a defensive player, take advantage of the opportunity you have because on the Galaxy, at some point, you're going to get a shot because most of the guys that we bring in above you aren't very good. So if you just
long gone are the days of Sean Franklin's.
those days are done, bro.
The back line not changing, after 4 years kind of thing,
So Julian, I'll give Julian an A for managing at least to fulfill expectations coming into this year when they were massive based on how he did last year and based on all the talk about him getting transferred. He didn't falter.
He didn't crumble. He didn't have that sophomore,
He got better.
Yeah.
He got better and he said, hey,
The sophomore slump is right.
there is no reason for any of you teams over there. I'm not getting worse. And the fact that you didn't pick me up last year meant I got more expensive. So keep fucking around and I will get more expensive. I'm not going to get cheaper. You're not going to wait them out. He was willing to sign on the dotted line that put us in a better position for when we inevitably sell him. How could you give him any grade but an A? He is a better defender of the Galaxy than seemingly every person who works in the administration. He is agreeing to do more for the organization than most people in the administration. Like, because I want to be fair. I don't know. Most people in the administration, he's doing more to protect the bottom line of the Galaxy than most people in the organization. And he's the best. And he's the best defender.
Yeah.
And he's the best player. And he's our most sellable asset.
All right. Jonathan Bond.
Well, you weren't gonna.
Oh, he took up all the time on that one, so we're just gonna keep going.
I wasn't even gonna give him a grade. I was just gonna give him a money symbol. You know, that's
Just
what.
monies?
Yeah, for Julian.
I'll give him 2.
Just the money symbols. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
No, I mean, and I'll go back to saying, like, I think it'll be sad that if that's his last game we see him play, it's unfortunate.
Like Tucker said, free Julian, man. He
Good,
deserves better.
good on that kid. You deserve better
hey,
than this.
go play in Juventus or wherever you're gonna go. Jonathan Bond.
I give him a B-. That's
That's generous. I would have given him a C.
We had a crap defense in front of him.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the issue.
Crap defense.
And
Yeah, so how? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to give him a really to know the grade that he deserves with that crap defense and an ever-changing crap defense.
Let me give you a quick stat line. 31-31. So it's appeared 31 times, started 31 times. 2,790 minutes, second most. You're right. Julian was first. 50 goals conceded. It's third most in the league. 451 shots faced. That's third most in the league. Seattle played 2 different keepers that played more than 15 games, and together they still had less shots faced than Jonathan Bond. Worse save percentage than 14 other keepers in the league, making at least 15 appearances. Worse save percentage than San Jose and Austin.
And how much do we put on him?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's a lot of shots, man.
Yeah,
and he can do something about the save percentages, but even that's dependent on, where are these guys? That's where I probably need to look into expected goals and things like that. But like, where are these guys taking these shots from? Where are these chances coming from? The fact that he's facing so many shots, he has to be amazing for you to even stand a chance most of the time.
I mean, isn't it just I give him a B just because it feels like I have trust in him to be the guy who can win us those games. I haven't had that in
quite some
a
time.
long time.
But if supported properly, I think he can be good. I think I have faith in him for next season.
So my question
If
is,
we have
going back to you, Ed,
defenders.
you talking about you having faith in him to win the game. How often did he
Keep us in the
actually
game.
win
At
a
least keep us in
game?
the
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
but how many times do you think he actually won us a game?
I don't fucking remember. Do you
Yes.
have that stat?
No, but I'm just like
No, he does
that
shit. He
you can
throws out this
think.
craziness to be like, go. You know what it is? He
It's not-
believes
no,
in
no,
you.
it's not
But
a
he's like,
stat.
Ed, go be fantastic.
All right, type butthole.
let me throw this question out there. Blow my mind.
It wasn't a stat. It was just thinking.
Well, look at the
just
the
looking back,
one
just
game
with
I
the
remember-
eyeball test. Like,
the one I
do you
remember-
remember him stealing a game?
Is the Seattle game. How many saves did he have where he pushed it off a bar or but the reason we got a point from that game was because he saved us from that. Saved
Okay,
us.
so you can remember him stealing at least 1 point.
Sure. And I'm sure there's been plenty of games throughout the whole season that he's done that. He faced 451 shots. Like
He's
Yeah.
faced third most shots in the league. Early on, I would say he definitely kept it. That streak,
But that's for the team, though.
But that's the thing. That streak in the beginning, a lot of it was Bond. A lot of it was Bond. Where you still had defensive mistakes. You had a guy keeping you in, giving you an opportunity to go figure out how to win it, giving you an opportunity for Chicharito to score, however many goals it was.
yeah, because I mean we weren't winning games out 4-0, 3-0. We're winning games 3-2.
3-2, 2-1, late
2-1s.
goal.
Yeah.
You need a guy to be able to keep you in. I think Bond did well enough given the situation around him that I'm sure we'll get into as we keep going through these guys.
Yeah. So Ben, okay, are you still sticking with your C?
I'll give him a C+. Like, that's what I was thinking. I mean, yeah, early in the season he did great, and just like the rest of the team, he just kind of, as the season went on, he looked more and more average.
Okay. Here's the one that I'm sure is going to stir a bit of it. Kevin Cabral.
Who wants it?
I just say, give the dude a D.
I'll put it this way. I didn't even write his stats down.
I give the kid a D.
Well,
And just because he's a kid.
Ben's giving Cabral his D.
because he's a
Give him
kid.
the D. Because he's a
I give him a
kid.
D.
Don't. Please don't say give him the D and kid
I
in the
said-
same sentence.
What do you think? What do you think?
I want to be critical, right?
Okay.
And I am. I think that for someone who, even in second division France, should be able to finish better or pass a ball.
when you have
Cross the ball.
when you have keepers and defenders who wouldn't make it in the second division of France, your expectation would be that this guy should be able to outperform them.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Again, but I definitely subscribe to the rule of you got to give these European players or players from outside of North America at least a year to adjust.
You also have to subscribe to the rule that Jovan Karofsky sucks at his job.
It's not a rule.
Well, I've known that
It's true, but it's not a rule.
for a long time.
Cabral was 28-24, 2,000 minutes, 5 goals, 2 assists on 48 shots throughout the course of the season, playing forward and left wing.
I mean, I give him a D just because he's afforded us to keep Ephra and keep Julian and to sell them off at a substantial price.
Puts you in a position. To
That's
succeed.
that's fair. That's probably the best argument I've heard.
So, I mean, yeah, I hope next year is better. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's a confidence thing with him. Him being away from, but he doesn't. His brother's here, so it can't be like he's away from family. We specifically brought his brother here so that he would be more comfortable.
I was told his brother is. I think I can say this now. I was told his brother is one of the more expensive players in the history of the USL that we brought in specifically to help him get acclimated. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna give him a D. Obviously.
So we're all
I'm gonna give him a D.
triple Ds.
I have hope that he will be able to contribute in a very positive way next year. Big part of that's going to be being forced to play defense in a way that it didn't look like Greg was able to get him to do. And I think the reason he doesn't like playing defense is Major League Soccer is a very physical league, and he's a very slight player. I hope he spends a lot of time this offseason packing on the protein, hitting the weights, and putting himself in a position to succeed, because he can't be as frail as he is and try to make it in this league. It's just not going to happen.
All right, we're gonna be here all night. Let's get a little faster. Let's go Koulibaly.
He's terrible.
I'm giving an F.
Yeah.
19, 17, 14, 22 minutes.
Couldn't see a game at the end of the season.
Missed 4 games through injury. FC Dallas, Vancouver, RSL, FCD. Again, we went 1-2-1 and conceded 9 goals during that injury period.
Yeah, massive failure. Just
not outstanding. Another guy I kind of hope can figure it out, but it was never really struck me with of all the center backs, he struck me with the least confidence.
Right.
Regularly.
Nick DePuy.
Played more minutes than every other center back on the team.
For what we've asked for him and how much we pay him, I've got to give that guy at least a B.
Yeah.
If not, I mean,
he highlights errors in a great way, because he shouldn't be playing as he's the new Dave Romney. He shouldn't be playing as often as he does. And he plays really well. But he's
kept Dave Romney.
He's another guy where you're like, he's better than what we spent a ton of money to bring in.
Yeah. Cameron Dunbar.
C, maybe even a D, because it's another wasted year.
Yeah, I spent most of his time down in G2.
And when he did play, he didn't even play there that much.
Yeah, C sounds good. Sounds about right. For Kranis, I don't think you can really give the guy a grade.
Not for the first team.
No. O'Neil Fisher.
C for what you should have expected from a free agent pickup who didn't play the year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, C's fair. I mean, especially for what you're asking him. You're asking him to be like
2 years ago.
A backup. Like if anything really goes wrong.
You're asking him to be a third left back.
Yeah.
You're signing him to be a potential third left back if you need it. And that's what you ended up needing him for.
Yeah. Grandsir.
B. I love that guy's hustle. I love it. He
it definitely went from like F and then just like gradually like
he took time. He was
got
on
better.
the path we all hoped Cabral would hit.
Yeah.
Where eventually he kind of figured it out, and even if the goals didn't quite come, you would still see that effort and that drive, and see him kind of figuring things out. He had the most successful dribbles per 90 for the entire team at 1.6. So if you're looking for a guy moving through the channels, progressing the ball from the midfield to the attack, this season it was Grandsir.
Yeah, I agree with that. Carlos Harvey.
You're NA. You're non-applicable.
Did he not play for first team this year?
If he did, it would have been in the first couple games, but that would have been it.
Yeah,
he played early.
spent the majority of his time down, so you got to give him a D, right?
Sure. I mean,
spent most time down G2 playing as a center back, center midfielder, right
I'll give
back.
him the same thing I'll give for Kranis. So whatever for Kranis gets for not playing on the first team, like that's what I'll give Harvey.
But at least Harvey, if Harvey did play, you didn't even get the stats for that. I'm surprised.
Did you?
You're the one with stats.
Yeah. I can pull. I can pull them up right now. I have tabs open right now that can do it for me. But I'm good.
Okay.
I'm fine. I give him what for Kranis is. It's quick. It's easy.
All right.
You
Fucking car.
Sorry. You know what? I apologize.
Challenging me on Potter?
I busted a Ben there, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
You can't add work to somebody else.
Yeah.
Go be sexy. Go be fantastic.
Chicharito.
Oh man, I gotta give. I can't give him anything but an A. He is.
How can you not? 17 goals in 21 games.
19 goals.
What's the one thing? 17.
No,
goals.
17.
He has 19. He has 19 overall because he got 2 the year before.
19 was the golden boot winner, so no, he definitely did get 19.
Landon has 1 season above him.
Let's
the
hear
goal scoring
let's hear it one
chart.
last time before the season.
Oh, I don't know if my voice can do it.
You can do
Chicha! Oh, it's hurting. It's hurting, bro. Chicha. Yeah. If you could load manage him, it would be fantastic. It would really, really be something to see what he could do in a full season. You can see why the Galaxy wanted him last year. Obviously, it just wasn't. It wasn't the time. It was a year late and a year early in his life. It's just a tumultuous time for him. He really could be right up there with some of the top forwards in the history of this team. But it's very similar to Zlatan. We're incapable of putting enough useful pieces around him to make him more successful.
And if he's not scoring, there literally is no one else can be scoring.
This is the goal scoring for the 2021 LA Galaxy. Javier Hernandez, a defensive midfielder that we brought in halfway through the season. Is that it? Raveloson, I think, has as many goals or as many goals as Grand Cyr, who played all season. Like, he has more goals, I believe, than Cabral, who played all season. If it's not Javi, where you have no plans for what you're going, 0 plans for what you're going to do, if he's hurt or tired or whatever.
Except you brought someone in and then just
You don't play him.
And don't play him.
He plays 716 minutes. Fuck. I wish the guy the best. He held up his end of the bargain, and that's all I can ask for him. He gave me what Gerrard didn't give me. He gave me what Yella didn't give me in his DP year. You know, he held up what we asked of him.
And you can't say anything about his character because that if you go back and look at the last game, that dude hustled.
Did you see the post-game interview? He's
No.
crying in the post-game interview.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm sorry we let you down. We understand what we did wasn't good enough. And it's like, my guy, you did what I fucking asked of you. As the lead conductor of the hashtag Chicha train, you fucking did what I asked, man. 17 goals in a year. I asked for 12-5 at the start of the year. And I was taking into account the fact that he would eventually get injured. And he still outperformed what I asked for. I got to give him an A.
Yeah, I agree. Hämäläinen.
Fail.
Yeah, fail that dude. Javalovic.
Dejan. I like him on the field. He just doesn't play enough, so I'll give him like a C-. He just doesn't play. It's no fault of his, but he just doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean, we got snippets of what he can do, and I mean, it's not all great, but again, it's
How many goals did he get? Do you remember?
1.
He got 2. They were both against LAFC in the same game.
So that alone, I'll bump him up to a C.
Yeah.
I'll give him a B.
Give him a
Yeah.
B.
Yeah, you know what? I hope we see more of him for sure. I mean, I don't think
His brace kept LAFC out of the playoffs.
so. But it doesn't seem like Greg is all that.
Hey,
If you're willing to if
you're
willing to sign up one specific game and one specific event had this affected everything else, if there's not a butterfly effect from that game, then yeah, then his 2 goals in that LAFC 3-3 game kept LAFC out of the playoffs weeks later.
All right, I give him all the money. Jonathan Klinsmann.
D. I wouldn't be shocked if he was one of the guys we moved on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because he's not even getting minutes.
We have 4 first-team goalkeepers.
I mean, I would give him at least a C for that one performance he had against, who was it, like Vancouver or somebody that just stood on his head. But you know what, D+.
Yeah, whatever. He's fine.
You know what, fuck him, fail. I'm so mad at the.
I'm so mad at everyone.
Yeah.
I'm failing anyone I can.
Next to me, Sasha, Lars Player of the Year.
Yeah,
question.
2021. Look, God damn, if you had a time machine, and he looked like he really enjoyed it. He had a good old time winning that trophy. For what I ask of a man, I got to give him an A. Off the bench midfielder. Could be someone to really motivate, almost like a midfield general, really motivate the team, kind of drive them forward, making amazing runs for someone his age throughout the whole season, as if his body wasn't hurting and he's not aging.
And there's some times where he played the full 90 and was still running.
Yeah, I mean, arguably the heart of the team.
He made 31 appearances, had 13 starts, just under 1,400 minutes, 5 goals and 4 assists. Again, that's the same as your defensive midfielder. 5 goals.
I would not have
a lot
said
of penalties.
3
game-winning goals.
Well, after she's missed like 3 of them, they're like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna switch that.
He
up
had
a little bit.
3 game-winning goals this season. Like he outscored your backup center forward that you brought in so that Javier didn't have to play.
And he scored
every
as much
game.
as your big money winger. So
everyone else. Yeah, I'll give him a nice A. I like Sasha.
Yeah. I say B plus, B plus A.
I think you gotta give him an A.
I really wish that he wasn't at a point where Greg needed him to start games, because I don't think he's.
Wish he was 5 years younger.
Yes, I don't think he is a guy who can go a full game. I think he's great off the bench. I love seeing him off the bench. I'm not thrilled that we're bringing him in for 17 starts in a season or whatever it was. That 13. Sorry, that's quite.
I imagine it's injuries and it's pre-revolution. There was a match with an injury that Sasha got brought in. It may have been Groundser where he got injured and Sasha came in. But most of it, I think, was like cup competitions, the internationals in the middle. I love the guy. Not even 5 years. I think about it. If he was 2 years younger, like another 2 years of Sasha.
Was it 3 years ago he was playing in Champions League? So,
well, just transitional. It would buy us some time. If he was 2 or 3 years younger, it would buy us some time to not immediately need to fill the Jonathan hole at the end of this season. But that's the way it goes.
Kai Kruniak. NA didn't see any minutes.
I'm pretty sure he was injured all year, so yeah. I'll give him a non-applicable.
Sebastian Lletget. I'll give him my grade. I think he's playing average this year.
26-21, played 18-38.
If not less so.
3 goals, 5 assists, 1 game-winning goal, and the 2-0 win against Austin.
For his stature, his name, it's definitely underperformed.
What grade you give him?
I'm gonna give him like a C minus. For someone who's been here since 2016.
Coming on, I got Milestones coming on legend status.
So
real quick.
Someone who's that, and I mean, I really feel like he's a leader in that team.
Yeah,
I feel like he's a face because he's at the celebrity status with him. But for someone,
I don't know if he's a leader. I don't get that feeling from him.
But for someone who's been on this team
for as long as he has. Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Stairs is like the only player longer than him, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
For you have to be that guy, and I don't get that feeling at all from him. And his performances, like I definitely didn't think.
I don't know, probably Stairs actually. Yeah, I didn't get that feel this year. I didn't get that feeling at all. Definitely, any person who was in the Sell Sebastian High camp came out a winner this season. Ed Rodriguez. It just didn't quite get it from Sebastian this year. Seemed like a step back and an expensive step back. A rough time to get a extension and a big salary raise to Tam, and then not have.
Here's hoping he does well with the national team.
Yeah, but he's not going to do that well. I don't think it's possible to do that well. So yeah, I'll go.
I still think within MLS you can get big money for him. At least, yeah, you got.
I don't think so. How much?
And being the only national team player, Galaxy aren't going to get rid of him.
That's probably your bigger issue. Yeah. Galaxy are not going to sell their only U.S. men's national team.
Who has a celebrity girlfriend?
Probably more that second part than the first one. Celebrity, is she?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anything about her. For me, she is Sebastian Lletget's girlfriend.
She's a Power Ranger, so.
Can you name one other person from that movie?
No, I have no idea.
How important is it?
I think one of the dudes was in like the Stranger Things after that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you his name though.
Yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about it. All I know is she dates Sebastian Lletget. I'm sure she's more famous. Song. I know My Man.
My Man, yeah.
I give him a B.
B?
Yeah.
Okay.
I give him a B.
I like that song. What's the name of that other girl who's like 69 and everybody was getting mad? Jenny 69?
Yeah, something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Eric Lopez, NA.
Yeah.
Move on. Jalen Neal.
There's got to be some of these guys you can think to skip over.
Yeah. Jalen Neal, I think who would have got.
Hey.
I think he would have got minutes had he not gotten injured. At least been on the bench.
Yeah, probably been on the bench.
But over there with the U20 national team.
That's why I give him an A.
Jonathan Perez.
An A. He didn't play.
Ravalosan.
Cooled off in a big bad way. So B-.
That's fair.
That's a little harsh. I give him a solid B. B+.
Came in hot.
Came in really hot.
Yeah,
Like,
came in
B+?
hot.
B+.
I'll give him a solid B.
Do you want to go through the goals that we conceded in the last 15 games of the season? Because I imagine a defensive player is not going to stand out all too positively.
No, but his hot start at least warrants a B. I mean,
very,
you did
very,
not
very
expect
hot start.
that.
Yeah.
I'd go B-. Adam Saldana. For someone who I didn't expect to be on the first team.
Yeah, I would hope getting a year around the first team is going to be good experience for him and help him grow a little bit. But it's another guy who kind of had a wasted year, didn't play G2 too much. Or I don't think played G2 at all. And
I believe he did.
1 or 2 games. But definitely just not a great year as far as getting some minutes, getting to play football. So
I think he definitely played more for G2 this year than he did.
I think in the games he did play, I mean, he showed some flashes. I mean, the kid's still young.
I mean, early he had some young mistakes that kind of gave up some chances. But overall, I like him. He's 19, he's young.
Well, like you said, he had some mistakes,
nothing.
but he also had some. He made a couple of good plays as well. So
I was
fan.
pleasantly surprised when he came
I
up.
think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, he wasn't shockingly bad for someone who that young coming in and
again,
very essential in that middle in the field too.
Yeah, somebody that you weren't expecting really anything out of.
Yeah.
So
all right, Daniel Steres.
I love Daniel Steres. Not very good, but I'm a fan.
I'd give him like a C-.
He did 18 to 13, just over 1,100 minutes, 2 assists, third for average clearances behind Williams and Depew.
I think what's shocking is that there's at times where I'm like, let's get Steres on the field, and that's what.
But that doesn't mean he's good.
No,
that means everyone that we spend so much fucking money for is terrible.
All right, let's go through these fast. Jorge Villafana.
I can't see you give him anything but an F.
Nah, I'll give him
He played
a B.
every single minute until he got injured.
He was super useful. Kick me up there. I'll give him a C- because he was really, really integral and useful in that first chunk of games where we were really good. But then the body broke down, as was likely to happen.
I didn't really have any issue with him, so I can't really give him anything more than this, or anything more or less than a C. I think he's just
seems fair.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Victor Vasquez, again, one of those dudes who started hot, and then just being, I think, father time just.
He played 28, 21, 1,630 minutes, so just a little bit less than Derek Williams. Got 3 goals, 5 assists, averaged 58 minutes per match, second in assists with 5.
That's what bugs me a little bit. I expected him to have a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but 1,600 minutes, he played a little bit less than half the season. As far as being on the field, double that up and 10 assists, I take that as a good year. Average 2.1 key passes per 90, was number 1 of the team, and was the most key passes for long balls, long or short, really, for passes. If you're looking for some form of passing midfield creativity, whether you got enough or not, it was Victor Vasquez.
He was the guy, yeah.
I think him a good B. I loved Vasquez. Vasquez into the Sasha question category.
I'll give him a C+. I think he definitely had his moments. And again, it's just he's 35.
If he was 2 or 3 years younger.
Yeah.
If he was 2 or 3 years younger, it'd be great.
Augustine Williams.
Hey.
Straight up F, dude. Like he got his opportunity and just fucking squandered it.
I'm not gonna give him a grade if I can pass, because I liked him as a person, as a player. What I will say for whatever young players might end up listening to this, it is a lesson you should take. Make Augie your cautionary tale. If you're pushing for something, anything in life,
and vocal about it.
If you're vocally pushing for something and you get it, you have to try harder after you've gotten it than when you're trying to get it. You got minutes left in a game that you're down a goal and you don't get subbed on. And then the next game you get subbed on with 10, 15 minutes left and you're walking after not playing for weeks. Come on. It's a cautionary tale, man. I'm glad San Diego seems to be working out for him. I don't know if they're going to sign him or what the deal is, but cautionary tale, man.
Ben?
Yeah, I think Tuck hit it on the head. You know, if you get your opportunity, exactly like you said, you're vocal about it, you get your opportunity.
And when you have a guy like Vanny who doesn't really talk about his players publicly.
You're not even his fucking guy.
and Vanny's like, yeah, that dude needs a...
Everything you did was for the guy who got fired. Every good thing you did was for the last dude. The coach that you're playing for down at G2, that's the last guy's coach. The president who may have been on your side because he's there for the whole thing, the general manager who might have been on your side because he's there for the whole thing, both of them are damn near out. Augustine Williams is a cautionary tale to every young player. Should be in the world because Galaxy is all that matters, but certainly in American soccer.
And then for his sake, hopefully it works out for him.
I hope, God, I hope he figures. I hope every player it goes to exactly where they want to go.
We were saying before he signed a first team contract that maybe it's time that he
move on. If he wasn't going to get the deal, because it's not like
because it was always like will he, won't he?
If you don't offer him the deal, it's fine. Let him go to either an upper echelon USL team that's going to pay him an actual soccer contract, or let him go to another MLS club that might put him in their second team and give him an opportunity to the first team.
Right.
The word you said that really hit the nail on the head is squandered. That's exactly what he did. He squandered his opportunity.
All right, Derek Williams.
Man, that's a tough one.
It might be another C-.
Yeah.
I don't have like Julian being amazing, but I don't have a whole lot of glowing phrases for anyone in defense, probably save for Nick because he got called in late. Derek had a lot of hype. I think on his best games he was just fine.
Again, average C.
There are negatives that kind of stand out really bad, but those negatives should work in the same way that the positives from early on in his time, when everyone, which is an important thing to figure out, everyone was working together really, really well. Everyone was kind of playing together really, really well in the beginning. And then as the team cooled off, he cooled off really bad. And then everything else kind of cascaded from it.
But again, then it's you rotating guys in and out.
And Steris and Depew and Williams. And
how can you have any chemistry when you're constantly every week? It's like it might be someone new.
It's hard. Williams is definitely one I'm hopeful for next year. I'll give him another. I'll give him a D+. Because he was brought in to be one of these guys.
He's supposed to be the guy.
He was
your guy in the back line.
You're a starter.
I mean, obviously, other than Julian,
who's lost a starting job to Steris, who you were brought in to replace, and who lost a starting job to Nick Depew, who shouldn't have been in your eyesight as someone who's realistically going to steal your job. So I'll give him a D+. Although I'm very, very, very much like with Koulibaly, very hopeful for next year.
All right, Ethan Zubak.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. I think that might be it.
Yeah. When you're not brought on,
he wasn't playing for G2 at the end of the year.
At G2, you're not even like
just disappeared.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a vaccine thing. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense,
doesn't it? I didn't want to say it during the season, but I wonder if it's a vaccine
he's definitely that dude.
He seems like the kind of guy who's like, Jesus has my lungs. I'm good.
He's like, now all of a sudden it's my body, my choice.
That was you. That was you. That was
damn.
Ed. I don't give a fuck.
At Ed Rodriguez.
Anybody does.
That's at Zero Cool 138.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
I block people now. I don't give a shit. I'll tell you right
I'm
now.
not even on social media anymore, so that's fine.
Such a smart call. I don't give a fuck what anybody does. Leave me alone. I wondered if that was partially it, but I
didn't even think about it.
I haven't gone through the roster at all to see if like he's been completely gone. But all I know is it's a year where he didn't really get to play.
I didn't even think about that.
Almost at all.
100% makes sense.
Wouldn't that make a little bit of sense?
It makes 100% sense.
I don't know, but it would just make a little bit of sense.
Sorry, Zubek, you're gone.
Bless you, Ethan. Though.
But I'll give him a D because I'm not gonna give him a fail.
Yeah.
But not playing soccer again, at 23 years old when not playing soccer again at 23 years old when you play for a team that historically doesn't play academy attacking players,
and you got tons of men in the last 2 years.
Very much not a good sign.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave this guy for the last, but let's go. Efrain Alvarez.
I liked Efrain. I thought he made a real step up. No, Ethan was on the bench for most of the end of the season, just not playing. I'll give Efrain. Honestly, I'll give Efrain a solid B, maybe even a B+. He still has his moments where he drifts in and out of games, but he's still a young player. And as far as that that late creative spark. If we had games where Efrain didn't get off the bench and we were struggling to create chances for Javier, it drove me fucking crazy. Because every time he got on, Javi found a little bit of space. Defenders had some issues. The problem was I shouldn't say every time that. The problem was there were games where he would start that as soon as it got a little challenging, he would just drift out. Seems like a great guy to come on relatively late.
Yeah.
When a team is tired, defenders are going to make some lazy choices. That seems like the best moments to bring someone like Efrain in. I understand that. I shouldn't say I understand. I assume, or judging it from the outside, they're trying to turn him into a starting number 10. And you can't do that with a guy that you can only bring in off the bench. But they would very much like him to be that guy, so they don't need to spend the DP spot on a number 10.
Right. Yeah, I think this year more than most that he's really stepped into a role and found himself more in games than he has in the past. I mean,
2 game-winning goals.
He's 18 still, 19, like
He's 18. Man, it might be 19.
So he's still like a teenager. Like it's
he's still young, and I think that you could definitely make an argument that he figures something out mentally this year.
Yeah.
Going away with Mexico, huge for him. Huge. A different kid came back. 19, turned 19 in June.
And he's got out of nowhere. He has a baby. Like
that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what it was? You weren't all up in his business, and he wasn't inviting motherfuckers into his business. That's all.
Good on him.
Yeah, it's
Good
like guy.
Justin Bob Sieg, we'll give him an NA. So the last one I want to go over is Jonathan Dos Santos.
Cap.
Can I just start?
El Capitan.
I'm just gonna say you got a D. And I'm be honest, I think that's a generous D. Because I don't think
for someone who
he didn't show anything. Can you remember any game at all where he was like, hey, that's the Jonah that we saw even last year.
The last game.
Yeah.
He was 26-22 in appearance and starts, just over 1,800 minutes, 1 goal, 0 assists in a contract year.
That's my thing. Is not even. It's just. This is it. Like
in the year that you're supposed to be giving everything you have to show, hey, I'm worthwhile to bring back. Not even at my old salary. I'm just worthwhile to bring back.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Or any team. Hey, look at my performances. Sign me.
I like Jonah a lot. Probably more than I should. Or certainly more as someone who likes stats a lot. Like someone more than the stats really kind of bear out for him. I like a guy who likes the Galaxy in the way that I like the Galaxy, or that I get the sentiment as
that he's about it.
That he cares about it in the way I care about it. He's not crazy, and he's not going to stay up and watch us play the Oceanic All-Stars at fucking 1 a.m. or whatever.
I think I watched that game in a bar.
I watched. Do you remember that Chris guy who was like really big and then he lost a bunch of weight and he moved to Florida?
No.
Chris, fuck you.
Oh, yes,
him.
Yes.
I watched it at his house. You guys don't care. Don't worry about it. This conversation's not for you.
Yeah, I watched that game at the V Room.
Oh shit.
In Long Beach, if you guys ever across the street from when it was still Cheap Shots.
Yeah, lifetime ago.
Yeah. But I think honestly, I think you have to give him an F.
I'm gonna give him a C.
Just because as for the DP status,
captain,
you gotta fail him.
I can't fail him.
I
think he failed as a captain.
Just
you could make that argument easily that he failed as a captain.
Just for the guy who is holding that DP spot.
I want to hear that argument.
For that and the performance you gave on a year where you're supposed to give it everything.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't there.
I can't give him an F. Here's why I can't give him an F. It didn't all work, and it doesn't always work. Nothing always works. The guy kept coming to work after his father died because the team needed him to play. Everything isn't always perfect. Yella's divorce and all that, and like that, his situation with his kids. I'm sure there are people who would look at him and be like, Yella Von Dom, shit defender. And it's like, well, fuckface, what the fuck are you dealing with, dickhead? How many times have I told you, we don't, as human beings, which is what you all are, and is certainly what every person who plays for the Galaxy is, we all deal with shit. They're all dealing with shit, man. Like you're blessed. You're privileged and blessed to be able to buy a ticket to a soccer game and not have fucking anything else in your life to think about for 2.5 hours that you just get to enjoy a soccer game and can go like, hey man, this guy didn't perform in the way I needed him to perform. Fuck him. Like, no, man, the guy showed up to work when his dad died because the team needed him to show up to work when his fucking dad died. And he did it. I'm going to pay my captain some fucking respect on his way out because he's on his way out. And we all understand he's on his way out. We all understand this is the end of the road for a guy who seems to genuinely give a shit about being here. Not is gassing themselves up in the last, I guess what turns out to be 5 years of his career, or a stopover because Europe seems like it's not going to work anymore, or you've only ever played for one team and they're not going to re-sign you, so you're going to stomp around MLS for a little bit and then disappear after none of that. Just a guy who came here because his already failing of a brother brought him here, and then genuinely was fucking down to be here in the time he was here. It wasn't a great season. He's not going to get a contract renewal. It's the end of the road for the 11th Galaxy captain. But the guy showed up to work when his old man died suddenly. Like, I can't ask a ton more from someone who I know I'm already not going to see again. So I will give him his due respect and let him walk out with at least a passing grade from this fucking moron who never played the game professionally. You know what I mean? Like, where he would still run circles around me. So I will thank you, Captain. Like, I can't ask for much more.
So Chris gives him an F.
Okay. Nah, come on. This is how you get me in trouble. Now people are gonna think I'm a racist.
That's fine.
He gave all the Mexican players an F. It's like I gave Chicha an
Give
A.
all the Dos Santos.
I gave Chicha an A.
The Dos Santai.
I'll give Gio an F. Just take the F you want to give Jonathan. Give it to Gio. Give him an extra one. Why not? It was awful.
I'll give it an extra one.
All right, guys. You got the DP you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else before we get out of here, guys?
No, not in particular. We had a couple of notable milestones. Jonah hit 103 appearances, so he's tied 29th all time with Danny Pena and Danny Califf. Although he had fewer minutes than most, which is kind of sad. Leget's up to 158 all time, so he's the 13th highest in appearances, 5th for midfielders. Steris is up to 14th all time, 140 appearances. He's one over Ezra for the 7th highest defender.
Oh shit, that's right.
Julian's got 11 assists. He is one behind Jonathan for 6th all time, or he's one behind Jonathan for assists. So if we don't even know where that one's going to go. Cheech is at 19 goals. He's 17th all time, 2 behind Greg Vanney. Another 17 goal season would end him at 36, which will put him one ahead of Cien for 8th all time. So again, you really got to wonder what would happen if you could have got him uninjured for this little extra year and a half we've kind of lost. Efrain Alvarez up to 56 appearances, ties him for 56th all time, and he's with Zlatan. And Sasha is at 75th all time, and he's now played as many games as Jelle Van Damme.
So before we get out of here, they remind us let's give Vanny a grade.
Oof! I might be multifaceted, but
Just a quick
is that something
synopsis.
we really want to do
We
on
can
the
get
way
into that
out,
later.
man?
We can get that could be another
I'll give
whole
him a D.
episode.
I'll give him a D.
Yeah.
You got Toronto to the playoffs. If you're a relatively new MLS
we
fan,
won them a cup too.
but but I didn't expect us to win a cup.
Yeah.
Greg Vanney turned a laughing stock Toronto team into perennial playoff finishers. They always got in the playoffs.
And then left, and then immediately went back to being shit.
But it came to us, and we're fucking shit. Like we're as narrow of a margin outside of the playoffs. You even look at the Supporter Shield standings. We're 15th. Like we are as close to making the playoffs without making the playoffs. But you were also one game from being top of the West, and you finished outside of the playoffs. You needed a win in any of your last 15 games and couldn't manage it. I don't know how you give the architect of the most expensive roster in Major League Soccer who finishes outside of the playoffs a passing grade in any capacity. That's setting aside substitutions. That's setting aside who you signed. That's setting aside lineup choices.
Yeah.
That's setting aside tactics. That's setting aside rotation. Setting all those things aside. You're the most expensive roster. You fail to do what should be considered the minimum expectation for any person who takes over at the Galaxy.
All right, we're gonna finish up with the email from Big Tony. Thank you again, Big Tony, for all the things you've done for this year with running the competition and everything. Prognostication. Well, we have a winner. With all three of the boys predicting a win, there was no change in the points, so everything remains the same as we saw going into the last fateful day.
And still.
Which means Chris three-peats the prognostication game.
Gang, gang, gang.
Congrats to Chris, who finished the season with 30 points.
Is that for you guys?
Ed was second with 27, and Ben's comeback fell short for 25 points. Somebody give that guy a belt.
Give Chris an A. Are we supposed to beat him?
Or give that guy the belt. I don't know which belt. Listener predictions.
Definitely supposed to beat you.
You got to do with the snapping.
Oh my God. I feel that sound on my back.
Listener predictions. Going to the last game, there were chances for people to overtake Jose Salgado, who was sat at the top of the table who has sat at the top of the table since after match day 5. Well, most people predicted a Galaxy win. I mean, how could they not? It should have been viewed as a must-win situation. In fact, only 4 people didn't predict a win. 3 said a loss. JJ, Victor L, and Shark Boy. But a single listener predicted a tie. Who was that listener? And was he at the top of the table ready to swoop in and steal the season victory from Jose? Nope. It was Jason J who predicted a 2-2 draw with Chicha scoring both goals. So he was the one person who scored points, but true to form, he predicted another own goal, losing himself in the process. So he moves from 17 to 19, good enough for a tie with 3 others at 14th place. However, at the top is still Jose with 38 points on the season. He was followed closely by Ron L at 34, and then 4 others tied at 3rd with 30 points. Galactic Raider, Louis V, our boy Matt Alessana, and Sneaks. So Jose, I'll be in touch to discuss booze for the home opener next year. So as I wrap this up, I just want to thank everyone who played this season. You kept me entertained and connected to the G's, even though I wasn't attending games. Special thanks to Ryan and Elizabeth, last year's co-winners, who unselfishly donated their booze to the squad on the last game.
Hey.
If you had some of the free Jameson or Proper 12 at the pregame, you owe a big thank you. Lastly, to everyone I saw at the game on Saturday, it was great to see you again or meet some of you for the first time. You reminded me that I have a big extended family out there that loves to curse our wonderful pro referees. I hope to see everyone at the Hawk in Long Beach for the Riot Squad Christmas party on December 11th.
Oh, I didn't know that had a day.
Yeah. Fish.
You going?
Maybe. We'll see. On that note, anything else before we get out of here, boys?
Nope.
Benjamin, anything else?
You have a schedule for this?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I do. I do have something else.
Oh.
Keep an eye on the socials. My wife actually got interviewed by ESPN today. They said
Holy
they
shit,
flew over
really?
to the house. Yeah, because her grandpa played pro football. He played with the Cardinals. He actually was the original 99 that J.J. Watt now wears. So we'll tweet it out when the interview is coming out.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
You remain an onion with so many layers.
Patreon, baby. We got to do some.
Just peel them back. Let's go follow us on social media to keep an eye on that. We love you guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Even
Be nice
though
to each other.
we have been pretty consistent with this, but obviously you guys know what's going on. Stay saying your blessings for Ben and his family. Thank you guys for all your kind words, and hopefully we can come back in the next couple weeks and keep doing shows for you guys.
As long as something happens. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? We signed so many people to long-term deals.
We say that, and even my wife's like, what do you guys have to talk about? I'm like, there's always something to talk about.
Yeah. We can talk about comics. We can talk about wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about
What's your newest obsession music-wise?
music-wise. I don't know. Nothing.
We can't really talk about that. I mean, we come in here and listen to it. But
We can talk. We want to talk music. 21 Savage. Oh,
We might get flagged.
Who Wants Smoke is Nardo Wick featuring Lil Durk, G Herbo, and 21 Savage. It's a great song. The remix, because the original one just has Nardo Wick. It's terrible. But mostly Lil Durk's got amazing bars in that song. That's it, man. I listened to YNW Melly's "Murder on My Mind." It's like an acapella version. I love that song.
He played that first of this year. It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's just like an Inspector Gadget, like
with YNW and what is it, like the Carmen San Diego world of that.
Yeah, it's so strange.
But yeah, fucking new music. Get into it. Stormzy, Do Better. That's a great jam. Somebody on Twitter recommended it to me. I can't stop listening to it.
All right, guys, we love you guys. Take care of each other. Be safe. December 11th, Red Squad Christmas party. If you want to go to that,
Ed says he'll be there. I will not. All right, man. Much love.
Love you guys. Bye.
Fuck you, Brian. Suck a dick, bitch. Woo!